So today I want to talk about something that I think almost everyone in the Rivals community has been noticing, even if some people are still downplaying it. And that's the fact that Don Lorenzo is basically guaranteed to get a rework very soon. I'm saying this with 99% confidence because the hints are everywhere. From Discord polls to dev comments to his placement in rarities, everything is pointing to the same conclusion. Don Lorenzo is next. But before we continue to discuss the upcoming Don Lorenzo rework, I just wanted to say, if you are enjoying my content, I just want to ask you to subscribe to my channel and leave a like. That way it's giving me motivation to upload daily videos just for you, so yeah, thank you in advance. Let's get back to the main topic. Let's start with the first big hint. A while ago in the official Discord, one of the lead devs ran a poll and asked this question. Who would you represent in a U20 World Cup? Winning team gets their style added, all same rarity, so don't vote based on assumed rarity. At first this just looked like a fun community question, but if you looked closely it was actually more than that. Because the winning option in that poll was Italy, representing Don Lorenzo. And in parentheses, right there next to it was the word rework. That's not subtle at all, that's basically them saying, yeah, Lorenzo is going to get a rework. They didn't have to put that word there, but they did. And when devs drop things like that, it's never by accident. Now, around the same time, we got another message from a dev about a possible upcoming event. He said, if we did a U20 World Cup event, what team are you joining? People started voting, and of course Japan won because of how popular the main cast is. But the important part isn't even the result. The important part is that he mentioned the U20 World Cup at all. That's a direct reference to the storyline where Don Lorenzo plays a massive role. So when you connect those two things together, the poll about representing countries where Italy and Lorenzo won, and then the dev talking about a U20 World Cup event, it becomes really clear. A World Cup event is coming, and Lorenzo's rework is going to tie directly into it. But the hints don't stop there. Another lead dev dropped something else that was honestly just as obvious. He suggested renaming Lorenzo's flow. Right now it's called Soul Harvester. The dev said maybe it should be renamed to Ace Eater. And if you know the manga, that fits Lorenzo perfectly. But here's the kicker. This suggestion came with a follow-up in the polls with the answer that said, do it if you ever reworked on Lorenzo. And that's the thing. The dev didn't shoot it down. He didn't say, no, we're not planning to rework him. He just let it sit there. Which means it's already in the plans. That's basically the second huge confirmation that Lorenzo's rework is coming. And then there's the final biggest hint of them all. Don Lorenzo is now in generational rarity, that's right. He's no longer just sitting at the top with world class. He's been placed into the new rarity that's supposed to represent the new gen players. The ultra rare, ultra special players who are above even world class. That move alone basically guarantees a rework. Because if you're going to put someone in generational, they have to actually feel like they belong there. They can't just be okay. They can't just be slightly above average. They have to feel like a true once-in-a-generation player. And right now, Lorenzo doesn't feel that way in gameplay. So if you connect the dots, the devs moving him into generational was a setup. They're planning a rework to make him finally live up to that rarity. Now, I know some people are going to say, but isn't Lorenzo already good? Didn't he already get buffs? And yeah, that's true. He's been buffed multiple times since his release. But here's my counter question. If he's already so good, why do I barely see him on the field? I play every single day. I'm in matches constantly. And I swear I only see Don Lorenzo maybe once every 10 or 15 games. That's insanely low for someone who's supposed to be generational. If he was truly performing, if he was truly balanced and fun, he'd be everywhere. But he's not. That tells you something is wrong. And let's be real. It's embarrassing that Lorenzo, who is supposed to be the ultimate defender, loses out defensively to characters like Nel Nagi. Nagi is a striker, not a defender. Yet in-game, he often feels stronger on defense than Lorenzo does. How is that even acceptable? That alone proves something has to change. A generational defender should not be worse at defending than a world-class striker. That completely kills the point of his design. And that's why I think the rework is not only coming, but absolutely necessary. Because the current Lorenzo just doesn't fit. He doesn't match his rarity, he doesn't match his lore, and he doesn't match player expectations. Right now, he's a forgotten pick, and when you combine that with all the hints from the devs, it's clear they know it too. They've been building up to this rework step by step, and now we're just waiting for the official announcement. Now let me share a bit of my personal take on how Lorenzo could be changed to make him not just stronger, but actually fun to play. First, I think his dribbling kit really needs something extra. Right now, he feels too stiff, too limited when you're trying to move the ball forward. For someone who is supposed to be such a versatile defender, he doesn't feel that way in-game. I honestly think he needs at least one proper steal built into his dribbling moveset. If he had a clean steal integrated into his dribble chain, he'd feel way more complete and satisfying. Second, his Yo Michael move. Everyone knows that animation is iconic, but it's too limited right now. It feels like you get it once, it's giving goosebumps, and then it's over. For a generational rarity, that's not enough. I think it should be something you can pull off multiple times, maybe with some kind of conditional cooldown reduction or flow extension. That way, it becomes a real part of his identity, rather than just a once-per-match gimmick. If Lorenzo could chain Yo Michael more often, it would make him stand out in a way that fits his personality and his rarity. And finally, his header. Right now, the cooldown is kind of balanced, but I think you need to lower it. By the time you actually get to use it again, the ball will already be in the net. If they just trimmed that cooldown and made it a bit more spammable, Lorenzo would feel instantly more engaging. It wouldn't make him overpowered because headers are situational by nature, but it would make him feel reliable, like you can always trust him to control the air when you need it. If the devs hit just those 3 points, adding a proper steal to his dribble kit, letting him use Yo Michael more than once, and reducing the header cooldown, I think Lorenzo could become super fun. Not just functional, not just balanced, but genuinely enjoyable to pick and play. And that's what he needs most right now, because generational rarity should mean fun as much as it means strength. If I had to guess, I'd say we'll probably see the rework drop in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It lines up perfectly. We've just had Bunny, Lavinho's coming next, and then right after that it would make sense to slide in a generational rework like Lorenzo. That way the hype keeps flowing. You go from new styles to new rarity to a huge rework, all back to back. It keeps the game alive and it gives players a reason to stay invested. So yeah, let's run it back. First hint. The Discord poll about representing U20 World Cup teams where Italy and Lorenzo won with rework written next to it. Second hint. The dev message about possibly renaming his Flow Soul Harvester to Ace Eater with people saying, "Do it if you ever rework him," and no one denying it. Third hint. The upcoming World Cup event that ties directly to his story arc. And the final confirmation? Lorenzo sitting in generational rarity, where he clearly doesn't belong right now unless a rework is planned. Add it all together, and you don't even need leaks to know what's coming. And if you're still not convinced, just look at the community. Every time Lorenzo comes up in comments or in Discord, people keep saying the same thing. He needs a rework. Buffs haven't been enough. Small tweaks haven't been enough. People are asking for a complete refresh. And when the community and the devs are both on the same page, that's when things actually happen. So I think it's safe to say, Don Lorenzo Rework, 99% confirmed. We're waiting, and hopefully when it comes, he'll finally feel like the true defensive monster he's supposed to be. Someone who doesn't just stand in generational rarity on paper, but actually plays like a generational on the field. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel grow.